Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. A handful of British Airways flights were able to depart on Friday evening after a huge inferno at Hayes electrical substation in West London caused the airport to lose power. Heathrow's boss apologized on Friday, admitting backup generators were never powerful enough to run the airport as mass cancellations ensued. Thomas Woldby described the blaze, which knocked out an electricity substation, as big as it gets for our airport. Thousands were left stranded after the chaotic scenes on Friday saw hundreds of flights cancelled. However, a handful of flights managed to touch down in Heathrow Airport yesterday night, and a number of flights also managed to get off the ground to depart the airport in what was a major boost after a day of dismay. Most of those leaving did so after 7 p.m., while a couple of long-haul arrivals were permitted a touch earlier. British Airways BAW 259 flight heading to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia was the first flight to get off the ground at Heathrow. Hours earlier, a British Airways jet touched down just after 6 p.m., about 18 hours after the substation blaze. More flights will hopefully be taking off and landing there in the next 24 hours, as the airport says it hopes to run a full service on Saturday. Heathrow chief Mr. Woldby added, "We expect to be back in full operation tomorrow, so 100% operation as a normal day. Passengers should come to the airport as they normally would. There's no reason to come earlier." British Airways, which has a major presence at Heathrow, said it expects to operate around 85% of its scheduled flights at the airport on Saturday. Nearly 600 departures and arrivals on Saturday, but it is understood cancellations will be made, where possible, to high-frequency routes. A spokesman said, "We are planning to operate as many flights as possible to and from Heathrow on Saturday, but to recover an operation of our size after such a significant incident is extremely complex. We expect around 85% of our Saturday Heathrow schedule to run, but it is likely that all traveling customers will experience delays as we continue to navigate the challenges posed by Friday's power outage at the airport." Restrictions on overnight flights were temporarily lifted to help ease congestion, the Department of Transport said. BA is the biggest operator at Heathrow, with 51% of flights, including 341 scheduled inbound flights. The fire at the electricity substation which caused the damage is believed to be non-suspicious, according to the Met Police and London Fire Brigade. The major power outage has seen more than 2,000 aircraft grounded and 145,000 passengers disrupted. Images from last night showed Heathrow looking eerily empty but still functioning to some capacity. Travelers have also been diverted to Germany, France, and Ireland. British Airways, which has a major presence at Heathrow, said it expects to operate around 85% of its scheduled flights at the airport on Saturday. The airline would usually expect to run nearly 600 departures and arrivals on Saturday, but it is understood cancellations will be made, where possible, to high-frequency routes. A spokesman said, "We are planning to operate as many flights as possible to and from Heathrow on Saturday, but to recover an operation of our size after such a significant incident is extremely complex. We expect around 85% of our Saturday Heathrow schedule to run, but it is likely that all traveling customers will experience delays as we continue to navigate the challenges posed by Friday's power outage at the airport." Pictures show a number of late-night flights touching down at Heathrow on Friday. More flights will hopefully be taking off and landing there in the next 24 hours, as the airport says it hopes to run a full service on Saturday. The UK Civil Aviation Authority have had their say on Friday's chaotic events. A spokesperson said, "The Civil Aviation Authority regulates Heathrow from a safety perspective as well as from the point of view of protecting the interests of consumers. We require Heathrow to have a resilience plan to cover periods of disruption, and we also require it to work with other parties at the airport to manage and recover from it. There will of course be lessons learned from this event. Until we know more about the detail, we cannot comment further." A British Airways flight to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, has left Heathrow Airport tonight. It's one of 8 flights the airline said would depart from the airport this evening. Flight BA 259 took off at 20:58 GMT. The fire at the electricity substation which led to Heathrow Airport's closure today is believed to be non-suspicious. The investigation will focus on the electrical distribution equipment, London Fire Brigade said. Heathrow had cancelled all flights for the day but was able to resume some after electricity was restored. The Department for Transport has temporarily lifted restrictions on overnight flights to help ease congestion at Heathrow. There is usually an annual limit of nighttime takeoffs and landings between 11:30 p.m. and 6 a.m., which caps the amount of noise the airport can make at night. The DFT also says it is allowing passengers to use rail tickets flexibly to help. Thomas Woolby said, "We have lost power equal to that of a mid-sized city and our backup systems have been working as they should, but they are not sized to run the entire airport." The West London Airport initially announced it would be closed until 11:59 p.m. but later said repatriation flights and a handful of British Airways long-haul flights would resume Friday evening. "This is unprecedented, it's never happened before," Mr. Woolby added. "We are sorry for the incident, it was caused by outside factors." Chief Executive Thomas Woolby described the blaze today as big as it gets for our airport.